Good morning everybody, guess where I am today? I am at Alton station on the Mid Hants Railway on the events of their 2025 Diesel Gala. And here is D1015 Western Champion attached to D821 Greyhound. So this is the class 52 Western. Here's its nameplate. So this is D1015 or D1015. Oh, listen to that. The Maybach growl in full tilt. Here's a view looking into the cab of D1015. There's its famous 1970s BR double arrow logo. Here's a view of it from the platform. What a majestic creature it is. D1015 Western Champion, along with all the other Anaxon people, all the other enthusiasts all out here making an enjoyable day of it all here in Alton. So that's D1015 over there. There's a class 450 over there. Nothing to see on that side. So yeah, this is D1015. One of the batch of class 52s which were built by British Railways at their Swindon works back in the early 60s. So this service is about to leave shortly on the start of its journey to Alresford via Medsted and Four Marks and Rockley. We have the bashers there with their time-honoured salutes in honour of this wonderful locomotive. So yeah, good old Western class. So as we go down, we shall have another listen to that lovely Maybach engine. There's a view of its nameplate there, Western Champion. Here is a view of its number and tops panel. D1015, so that's D1015. Now we come to D821, which is a class 42 warship. D821 Greyhound. Oh, look at that clag coming out. Oh, lovely. Lovely jubbly. Let's just do a quick look into the cab of D821. There we are, there's the cab of D821. Along with its number, its BR logo there. View of the driver's cab there from the driver's door. Here's the nameplate, Greyhound, one of the famous warship class of diesels. And this one was built in 1960 at Swindon Works. You can just see the works right there, built 1960 by British Railways at Swindon Works. A view of the other end. So that's both locos there, the 42 and 52 together, prior to their departure from Alton. Throwback to the early 70s there, I think. Along with the rake of BR Southern Region green liveried Mark 1s. There's a better view of both locos there. Absolutely superb in their 1970s British Rail corporate blue livery with the full yellow ends. This is looking towards the other end of the train. Seen here at platform 3 at Alton station. Just have another closer look at these two superb locomotives here. HMS Greyhound. So Greyhound was one of the Royal Navy battleships. So hellfire, absolutely hellfire. Let me just go back a bit because I want to show the Western in full detail. Absolutely superb. Have a look at this number there. There's the warship from the other end. Now the warships were taken out of service in 1972, so they never received tops numbers. No, they did these Westerns. The Westerns were taken out of service in 1977 and replaced by the Intercity 125s. Oh, this is just hellfire. Now over in the distance we've got the peak coming in, so I might record that coming in. But what I want to do is record this Western leaving. So what I shall do, I shall just record it from here. Hopefully it should have the green signal in a few minutes, in order for it to leave Alton towards Alresford, Medstead and Four marked Ropley and Alresford. There's one of the South Western Railway Class 450s, which has arrived on the South Western Railway service from Waterloo, 450089. But that's really of no interest to me. I just use those trains to get from A to B. These are the trains I love, the old Class 52 Westerns. The Western and Warship working together, how wonderful. Now over in the distance, that view there, that's looking towards Medstead and Alresford. You can just see in the distance there's a Class 46 just behind the signal there, that's 46045. So that's waiting for the Western to leave here at Alton. So this is the end of the line for South Western Railway services, and it's the beginning of the line for the Mid Hants Railway train services. And today we have the Diesel Gala, Mid Hants Railway's Diesel Gala here on the Mid Hants Railway on this superb day in July 2025. We're just waiting for the green signal, so please bear with us. Someone's going to get the telling off, maybe not. Over here we've got the water tower. This is used by the steam trains. This is the water tower where steam locomotives receive their water here on the Mid Hants Railway. Over there is the small housing estate which was built in 2003. Those lucky people have got a nice bird's eye view of the Mid Hants Railway's comings and goings here at Alton. So this Class 52 is actually preserved in the condition it would have been back in the mid-70s prior to its withdrawal in 1977, along with the famous domino head code on the front. And it's looking magnificent. There we are. We have now got the green signal in the distance, so that means this train is ready to go. Once all the doors are securely closed and locked, then it's off to Alresford. On this fantastic double-headed train service on this beautiful day in July 2025. Woo! This train made up of mostly Mark I coaching stock, along with the 1940s bullied compartment stock. Just need one final door to close and then it's ready to go. Ooh. Oh, I'm absolutely fronked today. Today has been one fronky little day. Lots of lovely British Rail blue liveried locomotives to play with. Beautiful sunshine, beautiful people, and a beautiful part of Hampshire. There we go, there's the guard's whistle. There she goes. Okay, ladies and gents, let those engines go. Woo! Here she goes. D1015 and D821. Woo! I'm insane! I'm insane! There we are, the nice green, BR green liveried Mark I carriages. Here's a bullied carriage there from the 1940s, and another bullied carriage from the 1940s, and a BR Mark 1, and there's the end of the train. So there it goes off towards Alresford. So what we're going to do, we'll hang around here and wait for the Class 46 to come in. There you go, the signal's changed to red, meaning that the line ahead is occupied. So what we'll do, we'll wait for that Class 46 to come in as we look towards the goods yard here at Alton Station, as we look towards the London end of Alton Station and the small goods yard, and all these old enamel adverts from the 1900s, which have been thankfully rescued, along with the 1940s Alton running in station board there. I love this station. Here's another old advert there. You save 4 pence a pound, Brook Bond dividend tea. So this is Alton. This is a typical 1940s Southern Railway bench, which was rescued from some railway station somewhere on the southern region. So what we're going to do, we'll wait for the Class 46 to come in, which won't be too long. 46045, one of the Class 46 peak diesel locomotives, which were built between 1960 and 1962 by British Railways at their Derby works. Here's some more classic adverts here as well. This one's my favourite, this one. More diesel electric trains for Hampshire local services, featuring one of the old thumper units there. This would have been when the Class 207s and 205s were new back in the late 50s. Please be careful and bon voyage. That's a lovely poster, this one. By rail and sea to France and the continent. Here we go, here comes the peak. Woo! 46045 baby, one of the ex-British Rail Class 46s, used on the Midland Main Line and Trans-Pennine services up until the late 1980s. Woo! And some more British Rail green coaching stock coming in, arriving into Alton from its journey from Alresford. Apparently it's spelt Alresford, but it's pronounced Alresford. Oh well, Hampshire people, Hampshire ways. Here we have a BR Mark 1 first class carriage, S3067, forming the rear of the train. Standard British Rail Mark 1 vehicle there in its late 1950s British Rail green livery, or British Railways green as it should be. So yeah, this view is looking west towards Medstead and Four Marks and Ropley and Alresford, and this view here is looking towards London, and this fine BR green liveried Mark 1 carriage. Also of interest is this 1940s concrete track layers hut, typical Southern Railway concrete track layers hut there in all its glory there, along with the famous water tower over there in the distance. There's a water tower there, and other interesting features and fitments of the Mid Hants Railway. What we'll do, we'll wait a little while and we'll wait for the Class 46 to come in as it runs round its train here at Alton. Oh, so I'm going to take a nice little rest, enjoy a bit of sunshine. Hope everyone's all keeping well, keeping out of trouble, keeping out of mischief and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I have. It's a tall order, but someone's got to do it, haven't they? LOLs! So yeah, this is Alton in the deepest part of deepest Hampshire, and I love this place, I love this town, I love this station, and I love the railway. Mid Hants Railway rocks my world, Daddy-o. Now what we'll do, we'll just hang around a little while longer just to get the Class 46 to run round its train, because I'm going to spoil you rotten with this sort of video. It's coming up to 15 minutes, this video, so hopefully I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I have done putting it all together. There we are, there's the 1940s Southern Railway running inboard at Alton station in its Southern Railway green. Superb sign that's genuine enamel that. So with this sign, that's genuine solid enamel. So this view here, that's looking eastwards towards the housing estate in Alton. And that view looking westwards, that's the termination point of the South Western Railway services from London Waterloo. So here's some more of these old enamel signs from the Edwardian era. Lactifer for calves. I don't know if calves that's for ankles or calves as in baby cows. And you've got this old advert here, Courage, London and Alton. Courage used to be a company which was a brewery that used to manufacture beer. And there's one of my other old signs here from the Southern Railway. This sign from the 1930s, it says Southern Railway, danger, don't touch conductor rails. Because Alton station was electrified. The line from Woking to Alton was electrified in 1937. But curiously, the line from Alton down to Winchester and Alresford was never electrified because the line eventually closed to the public in 1972. And it was one of the lines which were closed under the auspices of Dr. Beeching, who was a very nasty man. Now, the less said about Dr. Richard Beeching, the better, because a lot of people like us and seasoned dyed-in-the-wool railway historians like myself and other people can't stand Dr. Beeching. Here comes 46045 now running round its train. Woo! There she is. Beautiful. B-E-A, beautiful. Ooh! So she's running light to the sidings, and then very shortly she's going to run back and attach herself to the train in readiness for her next journey out towards Alresford and Ropley, etc. So we'll get a video of it coming back. So yeah, Dr. Richard Beeching, he was not a very nice man back in the 50s and 60s, especially in the 1960s when he closed all the railway lines which were not making a profit. And unfortunately he didn't see the bigger picture, because when he closed all those railway lines he just thought, well, they're not making a profit, let's close the railways down. He didn't realise that most of the time a lot of those railways had a community where people used the railways to go to school or go to work or to go shopping. So the railway was the only sort of link between the villages and the outside world, and he didn't really sort of realise that or appreciate that at the time. So the Mid Hants Railway, the line that went from Alton to Winchester, that was one of the lines that was closed during the Beeching era, but it was finally closed in 1973. And it wasn't until 1977 when it became reopened as a steam railway called the Watercress Line, which back then ran between Alresford and Medstead and Four Marks. And then in 1985 the extension of the Mid Hants Railway from Medstead and Four Marks was finally reopened all the way back here to Alton, where obviously you've got connecting train services to London Waterloo and Woking. So in other words, this railway line has become a victim of its own success over the years, and in a way it stuck a polite two fingers up to the works of Dr. Beeching, who closed this line back in the early 70s and is now carrying more passengers now as it is as a private steam railway than it was when it was a British rail line back in the 60s and 70s. So in a short while we're going to see 46045 running light back here to Alton as it backs down onto its train. On this superb afternoon here in July 2025, beautiful summer's day. It's red hot today, absolutely hot, so I've taken enough drinks and things to quench my thirst. Here it is, it's going to return back now. That way it's going to attach onto its train, so it's slowly coming into view in the middle of your screen as it passes the signal, as it reverses back. Class 46s which were used on the Midland Main Line expresses from London St Pancras out to the likes of Derby and Sheffield and Nottingham back in the 60s, 70s and early 80s before they were replaced by HSTs. And they also worked on Transpennine express services from places like Newcastle to Liverpool via York and Manchester back in the early and mid 80s. Very versatile locomotives with the Class 46. and a few of them were named after mountains, that's why they were nicknamed peaks. So this is 46045 running light back into Alton now, painted in its 1970s BR blue livery. So we're at 46045. It's Saltzer engine, nice powerful Saltzer engine. Here she is, just backed onto her train here at Alton. Absolutely superb, top notch, beautiful, BAA beautiful, along with its 0000 head code on the front. Flash back to the early 1980s. Now just going to have a quick look at the cab of 42560. So let's look at the cab and the controls. There's a few bits there. There's the driver's seat, there's the windscreen, there's the driver's controls. So yeah, 46045. Absolutely superb class 46 there. In its 1970s British Rail blue livery with the yellow nose ends, as was applied up until these locomotives were finally withdrawn from service by British Rail back in the mid to late 1980s. Now I'm going to sign off now. Hope everyone's enjoyed this video. It's only 22 minutes long, but hopefully everyone's enjoyed this video and learnt from it. I've had a lovely time here on the Mid Hants Railway. So I shall sign off. Glad you've enjoyed all the other vlogs that I've done. I shall sign off, and I shall do another vlog at some point in the future, but hope everyone's all having a good time. Hope everyone's all enjoying the summer weather, and I shall say ta for the like.